joined today's session. On behalf of the entire ATL Innovation Mission team, I welcome you all to the first session of the ATL Community Day. I am glad to share that on the occasion of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's birth anniversary on 14th April this year, AIM is inviting all the ATL as well as non-ATL students across the country to three fun-filled days to tinker and innovate through YouTube Lives and in-person sessions at schools. ATL Community Day initiative seeks to foster an environment of innovation and creativity by exposing children from nearby non-ATL schools and communities to various 21st century skills and resources available in the Atal Tinkering Lab. During this week of collaborative learning, AIM shall conduct various sessions on tinkering and innovation by professionals that involve hands-on learning opportunities to the students by engaging in a plethora of activities and modules in an online manner. We kick off the Community Day Celebration Week with today's session on artificial intelligence in collaboration with Intel AI for Youth team. Intel's AI for Youth is a flagship program as a part of their comprehensive portfolio of global digital readiness. Our session for today has been specially curated with the objective being to spread AI awareness among students in a fun and engaging manner, covering the impact of AI, its possibilities, key domains, and ethical concerns. For today's session, we have Mr. Akshay Chawla with us. Akshay is Intel's AI for Youth lead coach. So without further delay, I will hand over to Akshay.
Thank you so much, Tanvi, for the great introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Akshay Chawla, an Intel AI for Youth lead coach. And today we will be talking about artificial intelligence, what it is exactly, how is it affecting our lives, and more about it. So let us begin without further ado. Let us understand about human intelligence first before delving deep into the artificial intelligence. So when we talk about humans, we say that humans are considered to be an intelligent species. But what makes us intelligent? Let me give you a very small activity which you can do in the chat section. Whenever I say one, you have to type ONE, one, in the chat section. And whenever I say two, you have to type TWO. Okay, can we do that? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. So what I think is, if you wrote 3 THREE in the chat section, that is a decision you made. I did not tell you to do that, but you may have done that in the chat section. So this is what we are talking about. This thing, this decision-making power, this learning from our mistakes is what makes us humans intelligent. Let us understand 6 broad categories in which we can define intelligence. When we talk about logical reasoning, we are able to make logical deductions like we just did right now. We are able to learn from basic things. Let's go into the past when we were able to learn ABCD. I'm sure we did not do it in one go. We used to face a lot of problems just going from A till Z initially, and now you can make words, define words, and a lot more. So this is where human intelligence plays a role. Our ability to understand things, to make sense out of things, our ability to solve problems, different situations where we are in, and decide what to do, how to prioritize, that comes in decision making, and the critical thinking that we do is all under intelligence. So when we talk about these definitions of intelligence, what if we give it to a machine? Then we would say that the machine would be artificially intelligent. So when we say what is AI or what is artificial intelligence, then we can define it as when a machine is able to mimic human intelligence, that means it can solve real world problems, it can improve on its own from past experiences, it can make predictions, make recommendations, make some decisions, then we can say that the machine is artificially intelligent. I'm sure a lot of you must have experienced a lot of things which are AI based, but you may or may not know that it is AI based. So we will understand all of them today. Let us see how does this happen? How does a machine become AI or artificially intelligent? Okay. When we say a normal machine comprises of just an algorithm, a simple code which is running on loop. It is not learning from anything. But when we say AI machine, that means a machine is using data to learn and then an algorithm which is working or using the data to learn from its experience. That is when we say AI machine. So data plus an algorithm gives us AI machine. To understand it further with a very fun way, what we will do is we will play some AI games. So there is this scientist, eccentric data scientist named Aldini Isaac, who is very famous for his love of playing mind games, has announced that to the world in next 45 minutes, if we are not able to solve the three challenges that he has given or designed for us, there will be a bug which will be introduced to all our systems and the session will be over right there and then. So we have to beat him. Let's do that by playing some three exciting challenges that he has given us. Challenge number one, quick draw. We have to go to this link. We have to open the link. And what will happen after the link is very self-explanatory. You have to draw the item which is given to you, and you have to get 6 out of 6 correct in a row. And you have to do that in the next 7 minutes. So we are at 4:06 right now, 4:07 right now. Let us come back by 4:14. So we are giving you the link in the chat section. Meanwhile, we will also be playing the game on this screen. Explore it as much as you can. Explore the game, see what more is visible to you after the game is over. Explore it as much as you can. Meanwhile, I will also play it along with you. All right, I have to draw a crocodile.
I see pond. Oh, I know. It's crocodile. I see circle. Or potato. Or blueberry. Or moon. I see bracelet. Oh, I know. It's alarm clock. I see line. Or bed. Or cruise ship. Or shoe. Oh, I know. It's helicopter. I see line. Oh, I know. It's skyscraper.
I hope you are all able to solve the challenge.
I see circle. Or potato. Or clock. Oh, I know. It's wristwatch. I see nose. Or ocean. Or spoon. Or snake. I see nose. Oh, I know. It's boomerang. I see square. Or pillow. Oh, I know. It's radio. I see hockey puck. Or submarine. Oh, I know. It's helicopter. Oh, I know. It's line. I see ocean. or the Great Wall of China, or river. I see snake. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I know. It's beach. I see line. Or marker. I see crayon. Or axe. Oh, I know. It's lighthouse. I see banana. Oh, I know. It's necklace. I see square. I see dishwasher. I see cooler. Oh, I know. It's calculator. I see magic wand. Oh, I know. It's leaf. I see circle. Or blueberry. Or trombone. Or megaphone. Oh, I know. It's dog. I see circle. Or smiley face. Oh, I know. It's sun. I see pond. Or bucket. Or mug. Or cup. I have no clue what you're drawing. I see square. Or paint can. Or mug. Or cup. Sorry, I couldn't guess it. I see line. Or submarine. Or sea turtle. Or ceiling fan. I see scissors.
All right. I hope you all have completed the challenge and got 6 correctly. So let us move ahead to the next game. So the next challenge or the next game is rock, paper, scissors. I'm sure you must have played that a lot during your classes. So we have to play it now in the session also. What we have to do is, if you don't know how to play, scissors beat paper, paper beats rock, and rock beats scissor. You have to play in front of artificial intelligence and have to win more than 20 points or at least 20 points before AI wins. And for this, we have 5 minutes to go. So right now we are at 4:13. Let us play this game till 4:18 and try to win 20 points before AI does. And again, we will be playing along with you in this one. So the links are in the chat section. Just go to the link and explore the game. Okay, I'm losing from AI by 9-11. Whatever your scores are, once you are done, please put it in the chat section so that we can see how you're going about it. All right, we have 2 more minutes. All right, one last minute, everyone. I hope you're winning because I am clearly not. Okay, but the game is not over yet. Okay, I'll lose in front of artificial intelligence this time. So let us know what are your scores in the chat section also. So we will be happy to see how you are doing. All right, let's come back. This was the second challenge. Let us know how you did in the chat section by sharing your scores and AI scores. The next game that we will be playing is Cement Race. So in this game, what we will be doing is you have to go to the link given in the chat section and choose arcade mode. So if you are on the screen, you click on launch experiment and an experiment will be launched. You click on play arcade. Now, what you have to do is whatever the word is coming in front of you, you have to type a similar word, whatever comes in your mind. Let's say for me, it is music when I say drums. So a similar word will bring the word down. That is how we have to play. We have to learn it first. Okay. Accordingly, you will get points. And the faster you are, the more points you score. So let us do that. The link is in the chat section. Go ahead and play. We have again 5 minutes. We will be playing till 4:23. All right, everyone. I hope you have completed the game. Let us move ahead now. This was the third game. Whatever your score is, please put it in the chat section. So let us see how you have scored. Now we will understand how these three games were connected to the topic of the day, that is artificial intelligence. So the first game is Semantris that we played. So let us talk about Semantris. Semantris was about scoring by typing similar words to whatever we have on the screen, which was highlighted. So I'm sure a lot of you played that and scored well in there. So that was about natural language processing. When we say natural language processing or NLP, we mean that the the domain of artificial intelligence which is around our natural language, the way we speak, the way we talk, or the way we type, is all around natural language processing. The second domain is computer vision, on which the game was quick draw. So I'm sure a lot of you played the game, and after you play the game, it asks you if you want to see how the other people drew. So whatever you read on that or saw on that, please share it with us in the chat section. So that was about computer vision, where your drawing, your image was compared with the whole world's images. Whoever is playing, the images are stored, and the next time you play, the image that you are drawing is getting compared with all the others. And there are millions of images from across the world. The third game that we played was rock, paper, scissors, in which you were trying to beat the artificial intelligent model of rock, papers, and scissors and try to win 20 games before it does, in which I badly lost. So, the domain which we are talking about over here is statistical data for artificial intelligence. So, these are the three domains under the three games that we played. Now, let us understand each of the domains in a bit more detail. When we say statistical data, what do we mean? We mean that the type of the data that we are using would be either numerical or alphanumerical. What do we mean by that? Numerical data, let's say your roll number, your marks, those kind of data are numerical. And when we say alphanumerical, along with the data like your roll number, your marks, your classroom, like ABCD would come. So the data which is having either alphabets or numbers are alphanumerical data. When we talk about the applications around it, some of the applications are score prediction. Like you must be seeing the IPL is going on, and when you talk about the match, it shows you the probability of a team winning. Be it an IPL match, a football match, an F1 race, any game, any sports, you can Google about it and you would see the probability of winning of a particular team or a person. That is done using score prediction. And the data domain that we talk about is statistical data. Another application is weather forecasting, in which we get the weather forecast or the prediction of weather by the data of previous weather across the world. So that is the second application. And third is targeted advertisement, which we see across the globe. So when you are opening any application in any smartphone, you would see, or even if you are talking about anything, you open your phone and you would see that, okay, there is an advertisement around it. So that is targeted advertisement. And that is also part of statistical data. The second domain that we are talking about is computer vision. Computer vision, by the name, is what computer is seeing. So it acts like the eyes of the AI machine. The first type of data is images, in which we are entering image as a data, and the second is video data. So the video or the image is processed by AI machine to do multiple applications. Now, first of the applications, these are some of the examples again. The first application is face unlock that we have in a lot of phones. So the face unlock detects the face. I'm sure you must have used it. So when you try to set it up for the first time, be it face or be it fingerprint, you have to put the phone with at different locations to give all the angles of your face. And the model tries to learn from the images that it is seeing that, okay, what is the type or the cut of face that you have. And then later on, whenever you go in and try to unlock it, it captures your face and compares it. So that is one of the applications. The second application is object classification. So let's say I have to make a model which says, which detects if a particular thing is either a banana or a mango. So basis on the shape and things like that, we can detect that. And of course, a lot of you must have surely used Instagram and Snapchat filters. So all the filters that we have, let's say the very famous puppy filter, wherein you open a mouth and the dog tongue comes out and you have some ears and nose of a dog. So how does it detect what angle your face is on and how many faces are there and how far is it? So all that is detected using artificial intelligence. So AI detects it. AI tries to identify your face, how many faces and features like that. So that is the second domain we are talking about, computer vision. Now let us move to the third domain, which is natural language processing. So in the NLP or natural language processing, the data that we are talking about is text or speech. So the language does not matter. When we are talking about NLP, the language does not matter. It can be in English, it can be in Hindi, it can be in any other language. But what we are doing with it is NLP. So I'm sure you must have used Google search, you must have used autocorrects when you're typing something, you see suggestions. That is NLP. When you're trying to order a food or anything from Zomato and you get incorrect order or are facing some issues, you talk to someone. Before you talk to a human, that is a chatbot. And of course, the Google Assistants, Siri, Alexa, all of them are applications of NLP. Now let us see some more applications which are based on artificial intelligence. Let us take 30 seconds and identify whatever you know about AI and put it in the chat section. What are the different applications that you feel are there on AI which you have used just in your smartphones or around it? So whatever you have used or heard about that it is AI based, put it in the chat section. Let us see. Let us hear it from you. All right. Now let us see some of the applications that we have with us. Of course, Swiggy and Zomato, the ads that you see are all based on AI. It detects what you're ordering, what time you're ordering, and suggests you around that time, okay, you should order this or you should order that. Also, apart from that, let's say I am a person who likes chole bhature a lot and I'm trying to order it, let's say every Sunday. It would, when I next time open the app on a Sunday afternoon, it would surely show me just options of chole bhature. And the reason why it is able to do so is AI. Similarly, when we talk about Zomato, it does the same. And let's say I'm facing some issue with my order. Now, an app like Swiggy or an app like Zomato, how many users are there? Thousands and thousands of people ordering at the same time. Now, for a human to cater all the problems would be a resource issue. So what they did is they built a chatbot. And the first layer of information discussion happens through a chatbot with a very simple instruction. If you have an incorrect order, you get a refund. If your items are missing, you get a refund. But if there is an issue, then you talk to a human. Similarly, when we talk about YouTube or Netflix, Prime, Hotstar, whatever app that you use to watch any of the content, you would see that, okay, recommended for you section. Why is it there? Was it there before when the YouTube was made? Probably not. It was a very simple screen wherein you would see all the videos that you would see in your friend's phone also. All the same content would be there on all the devices, whoever would open YouTube. But now, as the time has passed by and they have used a lot of AI models, what happens now is when you open, it is specially curated for you. It is like They know what you watch, and basis on that they show you recommendations which you can choose from to watch. So all these contents that we see are specially curated for us. And who is doing that? Is there a human sitting behind all the Netflix contents? No, probably not. It is the artificial intelligence. Okay. So similarly, when we listen to songs also, the same thing happens. If you just turn on your smartphone and say, okay, Google or hey Siri, play a song, would it play same song in your phone as it would do in your parents' phone or guardian's phone? Probably not. Why? Because they know your taste and they know their taste. And according to that, a song will be played. So that is about songs and videos that we watch on an everyday basis, and that is all using artificial intelligence. Now let us come to some shopping. Amazon, Flipkart, and different apps that we have decides or makes decisions basis on what we like, what we don't like, the colors, the brands that we like, and recommend us similar products whenever we open it, or recommend us or give us advertisements at different locations, be it Instagram when you're using Instagram or any other social media or just streaming through web, you will see ads all across just of the products that you like so that you want, if you want it, you buy it. Okay, that is the algorithm that you're using. Okay, all of that is AI based. Now let's come to Lenscard. Lenscard initially was just selling specs, but now it is not doing so. It is also showing you how you would look like in their one of their specs. So you can wear one of them virtually. And how is that possible? Of course, artificial intelligence. It detects your face, it puts one of their glasses on your face, and you can turn around your face to see how you're looking like in those so that you can make a decision just virtually. So that is Lenscard. And many such applications are there which are using your face to maybe see how would you look like in a t-shirt or a shirt that you are probably going to buy. So all such features are coming and all of them are using artificial intelligence. All right, Arogya Setu, a lot of you must have heard used. Okay, so how does it work? If there's a person nearby you who is, let's say, getting the symptoms, so you would also get the warning. And how does it detect that? Okay, what area, where did you go, and was there a person with you who was infected? Let's say you went to a mall where I was also there, and the the probability that you and I were very close is high. So I might be infected. So the Arogya Setu app would suggest that, okay, you may be infected, so you should be very cautious because where you went to, there was a person who was very close to you and was is now corona positive. So such AI-based applications are being used not just by private companies but by governments also. Okay, all across the globe. Now, of course, Google Assistant, Siri, Cortana, Alexa, they are all AI based. What you are speaking and to detect that is not a very easy job, and it is done by AI very smoothly these days. Whatever you say, they try to understand it. Even when I was saying, hey Siri, a couple of times, or Google is okay, or Google, a lot of devices might have been activated at a lot of places. All right. Coming to Facebook and other social media platforms. So let's say you are moving to a new city and you are trying to find friends over there through Facebook. Now, let's say you have joined a new school. You would see recommendations of people that might be in the same school, maybe with your same similar interests as you have. I'm sure you must have seen something like that, getting friends notification, getting recommendations, not just for friends, but also for posts. So whatever you see, the feed on the top of the feed that you're seeing and how are they ordered is all decided by an artificial intelligent model, which decides what you should be seeing first or what you would be seeing later, so that you get maximum important information in the least amount of time. Okay, so these are some of the applications. Of course, Google Map is the last one that we're going to talk about. Google Maps decide what is the, let's say there's a point A and a point B. Now, there might be multiple ways to reach from point A to point B, but how do we choose which one to go to? Which one would have less traffic and which one would be shorter for us? So Google Maps does it for us. It decides or gives us multiple options. Would we want to go to a longer route to travel faster, or would we want to take a shorter route and give 5 more minutes to it? So such options are given. Maybe we don't want to take toll also. So all such options are given by Google Maps. And that is all using AI. Now, a lot of applications we talked about. I want you to take out a minute and tell me what are the different domains under which these applications lie. Okay. First of all, tell me about YouTube. What domain does YouTube use to give us some recommendations? What domain does Google Map use to give us the best path? Or what domain does Lenscard use to give us specs recommendation on our faces? So let us hear it from you in the chat section. So make a few guesses, and if there are any other applications that you feel you know the domain of, do share it in the chat section. All right. So YouTube would use not CV, but data, statistical data, which is basically nothing but processing numerical data, which is what you like, what you don't like. All of them is stored in the form of alphanumerical data. If you like something, it is a 1. If you don't like something, it is a 0. As simple as that. Okay. The categories, the genres are all alphanumerical data in big, big Excel sheets. So when we are processing something like that, it is statistical data. Another is Google Maps that we talked about, again data. Okay. And when we talk about Lenscard, it is computer vision. Of course, all four of them, Google Assistant, Siri, Hey Cortana, and Alexa, all of them are natural language processing or NLP. All right, let us now understand whatever we are talking about artificial intelligence. What is the purpose of all that we are talking about? Let's say we have artificial intelligence or we know how to make AI models or AI projects. What would we do with that? So where can we find social impact problems or any kind of problems to solve using AI? AI is a tool. AI, we call it AI is a superpower. Now, of course, a lot of you must have seen Spider-Man or heard the great line of Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibilities. So when we say that learning AI is a superpower that you're getting, of course, with that comes great responsibilities. So what is it that you can do with AI? What can you do with the superpower? The first thing is you can look around your region, your community, your school, wherever you are, and see if there are any social issues. Like I'm sure you must be doing for ATL using electronics and tinkering to solve different problems. You can use AI too and see if you can make a better project out of it, if you can upgrade out of it or make a new thing completely to solve the problems around you. Okay. The second way to go about it is to look about sustainable development goals. Now, I'm not sure if you have heard about this before, but there are 17 goals given by United Nations in 2015. So a lot of countries sat together in a room and thought, okay, we have a lot of goals to achieve. Let us note them down, categorize them, and let us try to achieve them by 2030. So the name was given Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals in total. Okay, you can check out more about them in the Google. They have their official website also. So we will just take you through what some of them are. They are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the last one is partnership for the goals. So take a few seconds out from the discussion and put it in the chat. Which are some of the goals that you find very close to you that you would like to achieve, or problems inside which you would like to solve? Personally, for me, is quality education. I feel that education is very important, and to use AI to solve would be a great part. Similarly, whatever you think should be, or whatever you think are very close goals towards you, please put it in the chat section. All right, let us move ahead now to understand, when we know about what we want to do, what are the different possibilities of it? Are there any industries which are using AI already? Well, I would say that, is there any industry which is not using AI already? These are some of the industries which we have shortlisted just to show it to you. But of course, I don't believe if there is any industry which is not using AI for their betterment already. AI is making changes, AI is bringing the revolution in the industry. Okay, let us start with finance. Did you know that finance is one of the very first industries in which AI was used? Can you guess a reason why? Of course, because it involves a lot of money. So when the banks were there previously in the early stages, what used to happen is a lot of people would apply for loans, and it was very difficult for a bank to make any decisions. Today we have a lot of things, but earlier it was not that easy. So how would a bank decide if there is, let's say, 1,000 rupees that they want to give as a loan? Should it give it to you or to me? Basis on just what I have written? Maybe not. So, how would they make a decision when there are thousands and thousands of applications and they can give it to only very few? So, that time they started using AI. That time they started using artificial intelligence to make better decisions in the industry. Okay. And the another application was of debit cards and credit card frauds, because a lot of money was getting lost just in the process of fraudulent transactions. Maybe your credit card number is leaked and a transaction is being made in a place where you would never go. Let's say you are sitting in India, your all transactions are under 1,000 rupees, and suddenly there is a 50,000 rupees worth transaction which your card can do, and the card is still in India, but the transaction is happening in Nigeria. How would you say that it is possible, right? Now, this is known as a suspicious transaction. So that is when you get a notification in your phone, a message, a simple message that this is the transaction which has happened. We think that you have not done it. If you think so too, please give us a call and we will stop this transaction from happening. So this kind of transactions can be stopped. And now there are a lot of things which are happening. So this is where AI is being used in finance. Let us move ahead to understand more about education. I'm sure a lot of you must have seen that with the times getting changed in 2020, a lot of applications came into picture, a lot of methods to learn about different things came into picture. Self-learning is the new term that we started hearing, let's say 3-4 years back. Now, how does that self-learning work? If you're a slow learner, let's say in maths, but if you're a very fast learner in science, and it is vice versa for a friend of yours, should you both be studying in the same order? Maybe, maybe not. So if you feel that self-learning is something wherein you are giving more time to maths and less to science, and it is completely opposite for your friend, just by using an application which is trying to teach you, that is going to help you a lot in learning better. Now, this is how AI is getting uh, implemented in the education sector. Along with it, of course, AI is coming as a subject. By CBSE, it is launched as a subject, and a lot of schools have opted for it. I'm not sure if one of the schools that you're studying in has it, but there are a lot of schools out there which have AI as a subject. Okay, moving ahead to services. Services like Spotify, which are just software-based services, services like Netflix, YouTube, all of them are just services which they are providing in exchange for little or no money. All those services are using artificial intelligence. So when we say that what is happening in YouTube, all those AI, it is collecting the data and processing it to make a better AI so that you whatever you see is better than what you were seeing before. Okay, coming to entertainment, even in movies you see the VFXs which are there, the effects that let's say any Avengers or Marvel movie is giving. The effects are not just computerized. When we say it's not just something which a person is doing on a computer, it is also artificial intelligence. A lot of things which are being done in VFX or in movies are based on AI. Even on apps like Book My Show, wherein a rate is decided on what should be the ideal rate at which maximum seats would get sold in any theater. Okay, that is an AI based model. So that is just a glimpse of what happens in entertainment industry. When we talk about gaming as an industry, I'm sure a lot of you must be excited about this one. Can you tell what exactly is happening in gaming in the chat section? Just a glimpse of it. What do you think? What are the different things which are happening in the gaming industry? Okay, let us talk about it. I'm sure a lot of you must have played games like PUBG. So when the game basically consists of 100 people playing together, but it is not necessary that a lot of times 100 people would be there to play at the same time. Let's say there are only 50. What about the rest 50? Because the game is made to be played in 100 number. So the rest 50 are AI bots. I'm sure you must have used the terms or heard the term bot, which you might be spotting in the games. So the bots are nothing but AI enabled uh, bots which are trying to act like us humans so that they can make the game successful. Similarly, games like let's say FIFA, in which there are 11 players on each side, but you have a controller and you are just one player. What about the rest 21 players which are there on the ground? They are all working on AI, trying to act like human players, how they would act like in a real game on a ground. So they are trying to mimic human intelligence or mimic human behavior on ground in your computers. And of course, that requires a lot of processing power. Okay, moving to security. I'm sure a lot of movies you must have seen that, okay, a person is entering, his weight is being calculated, his retina scan, face scan, and all is happening. At a lot of places, that is true. And AI is where it gets interesting. AI can do a lot of things simple machines can't. So it can basically tell if two identical twins are also standing and just walking in front of a camera. It is possible to detect which one is which. So that is the level of detection AI can do. So a lot of things are there in security. Suspicious transactions, like we talked about in finance, also would come under security, which is again AI enabled. All right, talking about industries in as a whole. So when we talk about industries as a whole, let's say plants wherein there are a lot of development happening, manufacturing happening in masses. So when we talk about machines at that level, the machines are worth hundreds of crores, tens of crores. Now those machines would require maintenance, because if maintenance is not given at the right time, it would cost them a lot, because the machines would then get damaged. But at the same time, early maintenance would result in additional costs. Let's say the manufacturer says that maintenance should happen every 3 months, but maybe the type of usage, the type of things that happened in the industry did not result into that extensiveness of machine, and maybe the machine does not require maintenance as of now. So what would happen at that time? The additional costs would come in. Okay. So how can we avoid that? Using artificial intelligence. I'm sure you must have heard about it or seen it in the advertisements that there are a few cars which are coming, a few vehicles which are coming, which says if a machine or a vehicle requires maintenance or not. So how does it do that? Based on AI. It decides if if machine requires maintenance or not and tells us. So if it requires, we would then go ahead and call for maintenance, further saving a lot of money out of maintenance. Okay, moving to another industry, which is agriculture. When we talk about agriculture, there are a lot of things happening. I would like to give you just a very small glimpse of one project, which is Kishan No. It was created by three students and they have won a very big prize in the Intel AI Global Impact Festival last year, worth $5,000, and they got one laptop each. Now the project, let us understand what was the project all about. When we say the project Kishano, it works basically to help farmers detect if there are any microbial attacks happening in their farms. So if there's any attack which is happening, maybe it is at a microbial level, so we cannot see it, but maybe a camera can, maybe a heat map can. So they use satellite images of a farm as a whole. They use thermal cameras on ground on farms to detect if there are any microbial attacks ongoing or something which is at very initial level and would come in later on. Okay, so that is one of the things which is happening in agriculture. And a lot of places farmers does not know how to use exactly how much pesticides, because initially they were not using a lot of them. Now because they want to get better crops, they try to use more, they feel more is better, but which is not a reality. So how much amount of water, how much amount of pesticides, insecticides, sunlight, and everything is required, that may not be very clear to all the farmers out there. So AI is coming in that picture also, helping farms to get maximum productivity, even deciding what crops should they grow at what time point in time in a year to make maximum monetary benefits. So all such things are happening at a lot of places, especially outside India, and India is also adapting a lot of such technologies. Okay, moving ahead to transportation. When we talk about transportation, it is not just about cars and trucks. It is also about drones, which are, I'm not sure if you have heard about it or not, but at some places, a pilot was run to deliver pizza. It was done by Domino's, and the pizzas would deliver not at your doorsteps but at your window steps. So it would come at and knock at your window and say that, okay, here is your pizza, just pick it up from the window. So this was a pilot which was done very successfully. Drones would fly out, skipping all the traffic in the way and directly come to your home to deliver pizzas. That was one of the applications. Talking about cars, I'm sure you all must have heard about self-driving cars. Self-driving cars like Tesla, they are all based on artificial intelligence. Now, take a minute and tell me which domain would self-driving cars lie in. Would it be NLP? Would it be CV? Would it be data science? Or a mix of a few of them? Tell me in the chat section. Meanwhile, let us understand what a self-driving car does. It detects whatever is there in front of it, whatever is there around it, what speed should it follow, and then work accordingly, trying to mimic again human intelligence, okay, and human behavior on ground. So that is one of the applications of transportation. Now, when we talk about healthcare, which is one of the last industries that we are going to talk about, healthcare is one of the most uh, properly structured AI based systems which are getting developed. Okay. I'm sure you must have noticed it, but maybe you did not know it was because of artificial intelligence. Before coronavirus came into picture, there were a lot of virus outbreaks which happened in past. None of them took only 1 year to make a vaccine. Why was it possible? Because of artificial intelligence. To detect what reaction is coronavirus causing in our bodies, and what would be the right drug or the right vaccine for it. And a lot of permutations and combinations happened just on the laptops before actually getting it deployed into humans. Okay, so there were a lot of testing done very fast, and all of it was possible. Why? Because of AI. And this is just the surface that we are scratching. A lot of doctors now use AI to detect if there is cancer. Not just so, what happens in cancer is in some of the types of cancer, let's say breast cancer, in which you have to get an X-ray and then doctors look at it and see if there is any cancer particle inside it. But again, a doctor can only see with his own eyes, and our human body have some limitations. We cannot see at microbial level, or we cannot see very at a very microscopic level. But a computer can do that. A machine can do that. And to see if there are cancer cells beyond what we can see, just by that, we can detect if there is cancer cells at a very initial level so that we can try and stop it at that point itself, which is very safe. So that is one of the things which is happening. A lot of research is also happening at some places like operations which can be done. LASIK surgeries, for example, are now being automated wherein the machine detects the eye and the start button is pressed, and the whole process can be done in the observation of a doctor wherein he or she can stop any second they want, and the operation is conducted. Almost everything is done by a machine. Okay. So these are some of the industries. I'm sure you must be excited about a lot more like these. So you can talk about it in the chat section. All right, let us move ahead now to understand what are the different, is AI just good, or are there bad sides also of it? Okay, so we are going to talk about different ethical situations in AI. Now, my question to you is, and you can answer it in the chat section, would you take breakfast before bath? If you would, or if you would not, yes or no, put it in the chat section. There is no right answer. All the answers would be right. But what would be your preference? What would you do? Would you take it? Would you not? Okay, so a few of you might say yes, a few of you might say no. So when we say ethics, ethics is a set of rules that we have for ourselves, and it has nothing to do with the law. So we are not saying that it is right or wrong. Something that is right for me may be wrong for you. Something that I find wrong may be right for you. Okay, so it is based on personal opinions, the set of rules that you have for yourself. Okay, so that is where we are talking about AI. Nowadays, a lot of industries have their own set of rules for how would they work in AI, but as a country level, there are not a lot of laws. Okay, that's why we're talking about AI ethics and not AI laws. But when we talk about it, what are the goods and bads of it? The first step is unemployment. A lot of news is out there that AI would take a lot of jobs. Now, what do you think about that? Is AI good if it is taking a lot of jobs? Is AI good if it is replacing humans in industries? Because just because it is making the production better, is it right to steal someone's jobs by AI? Maybe, maybe not. Is it? So when we talk about AI leading towards unemployment, it is not just unemployment, but it also brings employment, which would be more towards skilled. And whatever jobs are out there which may not require very much of thinking, very much of productivity, such kind of jobs would be going redundant. And it is not just AI which is doing that. There are a lot of other technologies which leads towards something like this. For example, uh, let us go back 20 years wherein computers were just being introduced and people were scared that a lot of jobs would go because of computers. We are talking about computers being introduced in India or just being adapted by cities in India. So we are here today now, and we can see that a lot of you are connected to this call by your smartphones and computers. And I'm taking this call by a computer, and it is employing a lot of people just because of this beautiful device known as the computer. So it is not just the bad things happen. I'm not saying because of computer the job did not go, but a lot of jobs were also created because of it. Okay. When we talk about AI accessibility, so for example, uh, there is a student who is in a rural area in India, in a village in India, and there's a student who is studying in a private school in a big metro city in India. Are they going to get the same kind of accessibility towards learning AI or towards using AI or making AI? So whatever your device is that you may be using to make AI, whatever the device is that you may be using, you have to consider such points when you are making anything. That is it accessible for all? Is it good for all? Is it going to be reached to all the people? It does not have such parameters which would affect people in buying them or using them. Okay, so this is about AI accessibility. Now when we talk about data security, I have a question for you. You use a lot of apps. Do you know which app is taking which permissions? Maybe all the permissions that you're giving to WhatsApp or Google Assistant, they don't need it. Let's say I rarely click pictures via WhatsApp. I click via my camera and just upload it. So what would happen when we talk about data security? If you go to your settings and just check what all permissions have you given. So when we say permissions are being given, is there need of a camera's permissions to be given to WhatsApp if I'm not going to use it? Maybe not. Okay. So you can go and check what permissions you have given, what are important and what are not important. Just go through it, check it. And also, let's say you are downloading a lot of applications. A lot of applications are there. Okay. So you download it. You download a game, let's say from the internet, and what is happening then is you're trying to play the game and you play it, but it requires a lot of permissions. Now you're just playing a game, you don't need camera, you don't need microphone, you don't need to share a lot of your data with it, but it requires to do so in order to play the game. What would you do then? Would you play that game? Maybe you do, because you just have to click on yes, and that's about it. Maybe because what is it that you're paying? You're not paying in terms of money. So what difference does it make? Okay, so you have to think about it. You can go back and think about it, reflect on it. Do you really need to play the games that are asking for a lot of permissions? Just check what apps are there in your phone which is collecting data. Now, when we talk about data security, it is not just about data collection. Data collection is one part of it, and if the data is secure or not, okay, that is the main part. So when we talk about companies like Facebook, companies like Apple, they try to secure as much data as possible. Of course, there are hackers out there who try to continuously steal the data. But again, when we talk about such companies, a lot of companies where you are playing games, they are just selling the data to third parties so that they can know more about you. Because uh, believe it or not, your phone knows about you more than you know yourself. Because a lot of time that you're giving to your phone, you are telling the phone who you are, what kind of person you are, what you like and what you don't like. So your phone, your data inside your phone knows a lot about you. Okay, so that is something to think upon. Would you like to share all that with everyone or not? Okay, so in today's time, we say data is the new gold. So when we say data is the new gold, what do we mean exactly by that? Okay, in today's time, a lot of applications are free. Like WhatsApp is free, like Facebook is free. But are they really free? Are they charging anything from us in terms of finances? Maybe not. We are not paying anything. But in terms of data, yes, you are paying in gold because they are trying to understand how humans work, and you are giving them that for free because at the end of it, you are getting to use the application for free, and they are getting to understand how a human function in general, what kind of different humans are there, how they function, how can they identify likes and dislikes just by making some AI models for free. So when we say about data, data is the new gold. And of course, you will learn more about it when you are making your own AI models. Okay, till then, this is about AI. This is about AI ethics. If you have any questions, put it in the chat section. And meanwhile, what we will be doing is we will be playing a very interesting game. I'm not sure if you have heard about it or not, but we are going to play Kahoot. Kahoot quizzes are one of the methods to play quiz. What will happen is you will be seeing questions in front of your screen and we will be playing it with you. You have to enter the pin. I will give it to you on the screen. Okay, you will be seeing pin on the screen 8310075. So enter this pin or enter the link that is given in the chat section. Go to the link that is given in the chat section and enter the pin 8310075. So your name would be shown over here. You can use exciting names, names of your famous superhero, your game name, or whatever. Just join it and then we will play a quick quiz and see who knows about AI the most. All right, we have 3 participants already. We're waiting for more people to join. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, put it in the chat section about AI as a whole. As more people join in the Kahoot quiz. You can use interesting names too to join. Okay, you can use the name of your favorite Avenger, your favorite superhero, your favorite comic character. All right, we have 20 participants. All right, I see a lot of you are changing your name. That's exciting to see. All right. Let's wait for 2 more minutes and then we will begin the Kahoot quiz. Are you guys excited about playing the quiz? Are you enjoying the session? Let us know in the chat section. All right, one more minute, everyone. All right, we already have a sus. For those who don't know, sus means suspected villain, which is one of the games that people play. All right, 33 participants, and we are almost ready to start. All right, everyone, whoever is trying to join in, please join fast. We are about to start. As soon as we hit 40, we can start, or as soon as we hit 5:14, we will be starting. All right, let's begin. AI trivia. All right, let us go. So you have to choose the right answer in the fastest amount of time. Which one of the following is the application of AI? Is it remote control drone, self-driving car, self-ordering plant system, or a self-service care like ATL? Which one of the following is an AI-based application? You see the options on your screen also. All right, we see 14 correct answers already. There are 14 people who know that self-driving car is one of the AI applications. Remote control drone is not, because we are controlling remote via our own remotes, and that is not AI. So when we talk about AI, we also need to know what is not AI. And whatever is simple electronics or simple IoT devices connected through Wi-Fi, which are working in a specific function, they are not AI. That also means that the circuits that you're making or a code that you're writing in Arduino in your labs or ATLs, they are not AI. Okay? Till the time that AI is not either recommending, suggesting, or learning, it is not AI. Okay? So we have Vish on the first place, Kaushal on second, Mandlar on third. Let's move to the second question. This language is easy to learn and is one of the most popular languages for AI today. Which is it? Is it C++? Is it Ruby? Is it Python? Or is it Java? A hint is given in the image itself. You know what is written in the image, you would know which language are we talking about. Oh, that's close. 18 people gave the right answer, which is Python. Python is one of the most famous language and is used widely to work on AI models because of its vast resources available online and because of its user friendliness, and also of course because it is free. Now the leaderboard has changed and Varsh is on second, Mandlar is on Varsh is on first from second, and Mandlar is on second, VK is on third. Now let us see the third question. Which one of the following is not a stage in an AI project cycle? Let's say you are making an AI project. Which one of these stages would not be a part of it? Can you make a guess? Prototyping. Prototyping is not a part of AI project cycle. When you talk about AI modeling, you don't talk about prototyping, you talk about modeling. Modeling is nothing but similar to prototyping, but that is where you make an AI model. Suraj is on second position. Now the leaderboard has completely changed. Potato with a streak of 3 correct answers in a row is on the top, and I believe is the only person with all 3 correct answers. All right, let's move ahead to the fourth question. This field is enabling computers to identify and process images like human does. Now, if you're trying to click very fast, maybe you would click on the wrong answer just because you did not read all the answers. Let us see how it goes. Yes. Facial recognition is just an application of the field, the whole field, which is computer vision. Okay, so facial recognition is just a small application of CV. All right, the leaderboard has again changed. Potato is still in the lead though on the third position. VK is second and Varsh is back on the lead with the first position. So VK and Varsh are toggling here and there, coming back and going out of the leaderboard, which is interesting. What does NLP stand for in India? Good question. We talked about it. Now it is for you. What is NLP for? Talked about it in discussion and we talked about gains, types of gains. All right, the right answer is natural language processing, which is given right by 18 participants. Okay, we missed the leaderboard. Let's go to sixth question. This is the program which allows the computer to simulate conversation with a human being. So you can talk to something like this, which is the right answer, like we are talking to a human. Let us see how many of you know the right answer. It is indeed a chatbot. Why voice recognition is not something which is talking to you. Voice recognition is just understanding you and converting it to text. So if I'm saying something and Google is just writing it in front of me, that is voice recognition. A chatbot would be where you are typing or you're speaking and you're getting some answers in written. So it is basically chatting with you. Okay. Varsh and VK are still on the lead. Farina, Meh, and Vish coming in the leaderboard with third, fourth, and fifth position. Come on, everyone. We have to beat first and second, Varsh and VK. All right. This is a system of programs and data structures that mimics the operation of a human brain. I'm sure you must have heard about it somewhere, but you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Something that we have in our brains and also in AI. Yes, it is the neural network. It is not just intelligent network, it is the neural network. Adapted from the human's neural network system, how it works, we have a artificial intelligent neural network also, which works very similarly, and you can check it out. You can learn more about it later on. Okay, VK is out of the leaderboard and Avna, some number, Suraj. Oh, sorry, Suraj. You can join again. I'm really sorry. I kick you out. Potato is on the fourth and VK is on the fifth position. All right, double points for this question. Where is decision tree used? Do you know what is a decision tree? Do you know how is it used? If you know, you are getting double points this time. Classification problem. That is right, and 20 people are getting double points. which changes leaderboard a lot, but still Varsh is in the lead. Sarcastic Sarda is second, Aparna is third, Manlar is fourth, and Vish is fifth. I see the names that we saw after first question on the lead. All right, again double points for this question. What does model dot add this segment do? What is your guess? I'm sure a lot of you, or maximum of you, will not know about it, but if you do, make a guess. All right, 17 of you gave the right answer. It adds a input layer. All right, so leaderboard is again changing. Mandlar and Vish are leading third and fourth position, and Abna has entered the leaderboard with fifth position. Last question. How excited are you for this session? Let us see your excitement on the screen. All right, 28 people say that they are very excited, 8 are just excited, and 2 are a little bit excited now. All the answers were right in this one. There are no points difference which you are going to get just because you're not excited. So with 7 out of 10 right answers, we have Mandlar. On third, we have Sarcastic Sardar on second. And with 8 out of 10 right answers, third we have Vish. Congratulations all of you. And on fourth and fifth, we have Vish and Avna. Congratulations all of you. You did a great job. It was a great round. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. Now with this, we are done with a lot of information, and we have a few things left just to talk about. But before we move ahead, let us do a quick recap of what we talked about today. Okay, I'll take you through what exactly did we did right from the beginning. Okay, we talked about human intelligence, how our human intelligence is defined, how do we define human intelligence in these 6 broad categories. Then we talked about what is artificial intelligence. It is nothing but the ability of a machine to mimic human intelligence. Even a part of it would do, and it would make it an AI machine. But how does it happen? It happens when data is introduced to an algorithm. Data is nothing but something machine is learning from, and algorithm is something which is basic function of a, you can say, a basic procedure, step-by-step procedure followed by a machine, and it is using data to make it AI. So data plus algorithm is Then we talked about 3 AI games that we played just because this eccentric data scientist was going to send bugs to all our systems in the next few minutes. So we tried to clear the challenge and save the world from it. So we played quick draw, which was based on which domain you have to tell me in the chat section. Then we played the second game, which was on rock, paper, scissors. Again, which domain? Let me know in the chat section. And the last game that we played was Semantrace. Again, which domain? Okay, so let us see if your guesses were right. We talked about all the 3 mini games that we played: NLP based Semantrace, CV based Quick Draw, and statistical data based rock, papers, and scissors. Then we understood a bit deeper into statistical data, what data it uses. Then we talked about CV and NLP for the same. So different types of data and applications we covered. After that, we saw some of the applications that are around us. I give you a small homework. Just look around you more and see what are the different applications that are AI, which you are experiencing or which you have ever heard about. Even if you know right now, put it in the chat section. Okay. Then we learned about the superpower that AI is and with that superpower, we have to solve a few problems. Okay, so where can we find problems? Of course, the same sources for which you get problems for your ATL problems that you solve using electronics and IoT tinkering, you can solve using AI also. Okay. And apart from that, SDGs are also there. SDGs are not just restricted to you be used for AI applications, but they are open for all to use any of the solutions to achieve these goals. These goals are meant to be reached by 2030. You can see which one you like and add your comments to it. What would you want to do? Then we talked about different possibilities which are there in the field of artificial intelligence, some industries which are using AI and how are they using AI. We talked about all these industries which are there. Then we talked about ethical concerns on artificial intelligence. Is AI all good or are there bad sides of it like all coins have? Okay, so then we talked about unemployment that it may be causing, but at the same time, it is generating employment also. Still, is it good? Is it bad? We are not the right people to decide. You decide that. AI accessibility, the ability of AI to be reached to or be accessible to maximum people. Okay, then we have AI ethics. In AI ethics, we talked about data security. How can you secure your data that you have, or do you want to secure the data that you have or not? Because, of course, data is the new gold. So, this is about it as far as the presentation is concerned. I hope you enjoyed it. We have one last thing for you. And meanwhile, if you have any questions in the chat section, put it across and we will be happy, more than happy to answer it. Okay. Now, before we move ahead, I have a question for you. Okay. When we talk about AI, you are some of the people who are there on the session, YouTube session. Now, the session would be over, and after that, maybe you would be excited about learning more, but maybe you don't have the resources, or you don't have people which are as excited as you are to learn more about AI. What do you do then? So this is the problem which we saw back in 2019, and we made a platform known as AI Student Community, which is an online community for students across the country to learn about AI as much as you can. Okay, it is a platform where you can make projects, where you can learn about AI, and it is very inclusive in nature. It is managed by students, it is operated by students. A lot of students are there which run it. So there are a lot of resources also, there are a lot of blogs also. I'll just quickly take you through it, and if you are interested, you can register over there and talk more about it. Okay. So simply by clicking on register, you can register yourself. This is what you will see. There's a what's new section in which a lot of sessions that are being conducted, a lot of things that are being happening are given across. So we have on Saturday, if you come at 4, we have a meme fest which was going on second. Then we had student sessions on transfer learning, we had student session on cryptography and so on. If you are, let's say, interested in learning about Python, if you are interested in learning about AI, then also you can just either click here or click on Let's Learn. We have 5 videos on Python, 5 videos on AI, each of them having additional resources apart from the video, which you can download. There are Python notebooks. Notebooks are nothing but working hands-on activities which you can do and practice your Python. So there are a lot of such resources also given. And apart from that, we have expert talks. A lot of topics are covered like blockchain, data privacy, even intellectual property rights. How can you protect your own rights? How can you protect the ideas or the projects that you're making? Things like that. Then we have AI project cycle, the question that was asked in one of the Kahoot questions. So we have the whole process if you want to learn how to make a project, and a lot about Python too is there. Okay. So this is the Let's Learn section. Then if we come back to home, we have Latest events, there are a lot of events happening on AISE. So if you stay tuned, every Monday you would see a new calendar, and there are a lot of sessions which are conducted. So let's say if this session is over, you can find the session recording right over here, which is uploaded on YouTube. Now, the sessions are not just conducted by experts from industry, but are also conducted by students like you who know a lot about any tech and wants to share about it. So even if you want to take a session, you can do that. Okay. Similarly, we have latest news in artificial intelligence. So if there's anything that you want to share with everyone on AI, you can do that. If you want to read any article, you click on it, and then on a new tab, the article is shared. Similarly, if you are a good writer and want to write your thoughts, give it to anyone, you can do that too. Okay. And there are social, so you can learn from there. There are challenges which you can go through. Okay. So there are a lot of weekly and monthly challenges given out. You can work on them. There are monthly challenges, which are basically something if you complete, you get giveaways. So you can win, you stand a chance to win giveaways also. And the best part of the AI student community is the forum, a place where people talk to each other, interact, and there are a lot of messages, a lot of buzz going around. So if you would see, there are recent activities and they are talking about PyTorch, they are talking about BERT, even the memes are being created and shared. There are initiatives taken by students like this, and there is a lot more. Recently, we completed 1 year and we celebrated it with a bang. And we announced that uh, there will be school representatives and AISC leaders, which are two positions offered to you if you want to take up and grow the community. So it is all about you. Now, this is about it. You can even explore the projects. Now, I'd leave it up to you if you have any questions. Okay, feel free to ask the questions if you have any on anything that we discussed today. Okay, put it in the chat section if you have any questions, and we will be more than happy to answer to you. Okay, we have a question by AM Android Master. They're asking, what is the difference between ATL and AI? So ATL is a lab in which there are a lot of resources which are available to you to use and make tinkering based projects. Now, when we talk about tinkering, AI can be added to it to make your projects or whatever you're making better. AI is nothing but a technology which is there out there, which you can use in any of the projects that you want or any of the tinkering that you are doing. There is also a new term which is out there, you can Google about it, which is AIoT, Artificial Intelligence of Things. So when you're making some IoT models, IoT projects in your ATL, how can you integrate it with AI? That is also possible using AIoT. If you have any questions related to AI or anything we discussed today, please feel free to ask us. We'll wait for 1 more minute. C++ and Java are nothing but two languages Nirmala Thakur is asking the question, what is C++ and Java? So these are two different languages. Computers have a lot of languages which are out there. Now, if you want to learn any of the languages, you can see, you can explore on the internet. Java is one of the language, C++ is another. They are different kinds of languages. Like we have Hindi, English, in which we communicate. Computers understand very few languages. These languages are built by us humans only. So different humans tried to build different languages. So one of them was Java, one of them was C++, one is Python, and there are many such more languages. Yes, it is a computer language which you can learn if you want. So for example, Android applications use Java, while a lot of websites like Netflix and a lot of games use Python or Ruby. Ruby is another language which is used a lot to code in AI. So we cannot say what is the best programming language, Madhura, but I would say that depends on what are you deciding on. So basically, if you want to learn about learn how to code and you want the easiest one of them, it is Python. Okay, so Python is one of the easiest, most accessible language in today's time, and it is free, it is user friendly. You can code it over the internet also. You know, do not need a very high-end laptop sometimes if you're coding over the internet, if you have good internet. So it is Python, I would suggest, where you can start with. Of course, for AI. It is also open source. It is readily available. Okay, so there are a lot of benefits of Python. So Sushil, I would recommend that you go to AI student community, see or ask this exact question on the community. And there are a lot of students who would recommend you about different things. And also you can use your ATL tinkering labs. There is an AI module which you can use to work on AI also. All right. If we do not have any other questions, we will close the session for today. Thank you so much everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed the session. Do let us know how you felt about the session in the chat section. We have given the link of your student community for anyone if you want to go and explore. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you liked it.